It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. Welcome to Mind Your Business. I should say welcome back to Mind Your Business.
Yes. I'm back again.
You are. So again, to remind our listeners, Kimwana Eve, you are the founder of Lookie Lookie.
Yes.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey, what's happened since we saw you last. I think it was June we spoke to talk about the launch of the business. Mm-hmm. So we want to talk a little bit more about what you've been doing, what has been going on, as well as the partnership that we are entering into with BDC and Lookie Lookie with regard to ByBermuda. So let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing. Well, first of all, let's remind people what Lookie Lookie is.
Okay. Lookie Lookie is, I like to say, your small business plug, your small business solution. So a lot of things that relate to small business with like branding, marketing, letting people know that you're out here, that's what Lookie Lookie does. Our business, your business is our business.
Okay, I like that. So some of the services that you offer, just talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so we initially started off as a directory, and we were onboarding businesses onto the site because a lot of people just don't know what's available. But that is quickly evolving, transforming to more physical. Right? So a lot of businesses are not brick and mortar, so they don't have a physical location. And that is where we are introducing our extended pop-up. So normally, things are like a pop-up might be a day.
Yes.
But we started off with a 30-day pop-up over the Christmas holiday, which was a huge success. Vendors and locals, consumers are looking, it was a missing puzzle piece, and I feel like I'm putting the puzzle together. Consumers are looking for the vendors. Vendors are looking for ways to showcase their product without have to, putting in so much time.
Right.
So the pop-ups are what we're doing. And then another portion that hasn't really been developed yet, but I'm looking to assist the same vendors in branding their business.
Okay. Which makes sense because that's the whole reason. Well, you could talk a little bit more about your inspiration behind even starting Lookie Lookie. Like, you had a regular 9-to-5. Why did you do this?
Last time I was here, I had a 9-to-5, and now 6 months later, I'm on the other side.
Yes.
So the business came out of frustration. As a busy wife, mother, other obligations, you're like, I don't have time to look all over for you people. Like, I want to support you. Where are you?
Right.
So it came out of frustration. I created the directory at first, which was a website. But I felt that wasn't it. Like, it's a nice compliment, but it wasn't it. And then actually coming out with the idea of supporting these businesses by me being there to sell on their behalf. I feel like that I finally found that thing.
Yes.
And that is, like, I'm just working on getting better with that, being able to showcase the businesses.
Yeah, I think it's important because we call them micro businesses, right? So micro meaning you don't necessarily have a brick and mortar. You vend at events or markets. And so I think the one thing that we've noticed, like in BDC and from speaking with vendors, is that there is the consistency, right? So speaking from a consumer perspective, because I'm a consumer too, as well as from the vendors, like, where can you go and have this space where you vend on a consistent basis?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that, to me, I think is missing. If you go to other jurisdictions, you have markets, like a vendor market, kitted out, is nice, and this is your space, which is different from having your own separate brick and mortar.
And I think a challenge we have in Bermuda, a good percentage of the vendors also have steady 9 to 5s.
Yes.
Where in other jurisdictions,
that's probably their primary.
Yeah, that's their primary source of income. So while you don't want to ditch the 9 to 5, but having your micro business is what is your passion, right? So if I can allow you to still follow your dreams, but let's be honest, still deal with the reality of life, I think we're a win-win.
Yeah. And I think you are, like you said, filling that gap, right? Or answering that call. So your December pop-up market was successful. It was called Dreams Do Come True.
Yes, because this has been a dream of mine.
Yes.
I remember just walking down Front Street, Reed Street, and I'm just like, why we don't have a space that's for Bermudians?
Yeah.
That's just old Bermuda. And it's one thing to have that dream, but then when you need to execute it, you're just like, I gotta get permission here, call this,
welcome to
that.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So for it to actually go off and then go off so well, I was thankful to I still am thankful to the vendors because they trusted me. You know, I'm just in the inbox like, hey, you want to join? And they're like, who are you? And why? But they trusted me. The consumers, the Bermudians, people tend to say it's nothing in Bermuda.
Yeah.
And people, they don't want to shop in Bermuda.
Yeah.
But that's not true. If the opportunity is there, people will support.
Yeah.
So the support was excellent. For the Christmas holiday, lots of people came in. I remember this one lady came. She was like, I need 13 gifts. I don't care what they are. The from Bermudians, and I'm supporting. And I just went around and we got it. And she was so thankful. And the vendors were just like, 2 vendors in particular came to me and they was like, Kimwana, I've never sold this much stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, I know because I'm the secret sauce. No, I'm just kidding. I was like,
but I mean, that's a good point.
Yes, like that. And not to say, I'm a very honest person, right? So sometimes I might say some things that you're like, damn, she said that. You can create something, right? And you can sit at a table at a market to sell it, and it doesn't sell.
Right.
You can give me that same thing, and we're going to sell it. Why? Because people go off of a look and a vibe and a feel, and that's what I bring, right? It's the same product.
Yeah.
But it's just like, they're not buying it from you. Even though you created it, they're buying your product from me.
Yeah.
So that... I didn't know a nice way how to say that.
What I would say, and this it runs across all levels of entrepreneurship, right? People are passionate, people are creative, people are artistic, they are talented, but that does not always mean that you're a salesperson, that you have the business acumen to make this thing that you're passionate about a success.
That is the truth.
And so I think what we try to do at BDC is create opportunities for people to gain the knowledge or gain whatever they need to do so that they can fill in the missing piece, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But sometimes it just don't feel. And
honest.
You have to hire someone to do that on your behalf.
And they recognized it, and it was okay.
Yes.
Like, you stay over there and do what you do.
You make the beautiful thing and let me sell it for you.
And they was like, I've never sold this many.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying you're meeting that demand, right? So the person that's not interested in learning how to sell or selling, they don't have to. They can just focus on making the beautiful things and then partnering with Lookie Lookie to sell the beautiful things. And so I think everybody is winning in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that it's definitely a positive thing that it exists, and I would love to see how you can continue. So what are your plans, like, going forward with Lookie Lookie?
So right now we're planning spring, summer extended pop-up.
Okay.
That is a whole 6 months.
Yes.
Right? So we're getting straight through the summer.
Okay.
We're starting March 15th, 2 weeks before Good Friday. And every holiday coming, we are going to be there 6 days a week, 10 to 6 inside the Washington Mall. So last time we had a space down by the English Market.
Yes.
This time I have been given this, not given, I have the space. I'm leasing the space. It's right off to the left once you come downstairs. By the elevators, it has like a whole window display.
Yes,
so
yes.
we're doing it bigger because the demand is there and people want the opportunity to showcase their products. And it's a good opportunity, like if you're coming up with something new and you're not sure, you could test it out.
And that's, to me, I think it makes perfect sense, right? Which is why some people start by vending, right? It's like, let me see if they'll buy this from me out the back of my trunk.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, they did. Let me go to this market and see if I get the same sort of response. So I think it does create an opportunity for someone who's just starting out and testing the waters to see if people are resonating with what they're selling. And the funny thing is that you never know, right?
Never know.
Some goods you get in, you be like, nobody is gonna buy that, and then it's the top seller.
Yep.
Right.
That it's so funny. One of the vendors came and she reached out to me and she was like, "Hey, can I join?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Like another candle. And she joined, and her thing was a top seller.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I don't know if it's just in Bermuda because we're so densely populated, but that competition is real in the sense of it's real in people's heads.
Right.
But I don't think it's a real problem. So we had at least 5 different candles, different price points, different looks, different scents. They all sold. So sometimes people get in spaces with somebody who's doing the similar or the same thing, and they're just like, oh,
right.
But like, what's yours is yours, and not everybody who likes crafts likes helmets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're both menus
Yeah.
and they're both doing good, right? So that was another way that you could test people, like, who likes yours, likes yours.
Likes yours. The scents are different. What it looks like is different. It appeals to different people.
Yes.
And I think that's a good point because I do think because Bermuda is small, sometimes people are very competitive and they're like, I don't want to support, or I don't want to be next to this person because it's going to impact me. But it's like if you focus on doing what you do great, then like you said, you're gonna get your customer. Now let's talk a little bit about the relationship with BEDC.
Yes.
And you know BEDC has launched its ByBermuda market. It's a virtual market which supports micro and small businesses.
Yes.
This is free. Believe it or not. I won't say free. It's being subsidized by the BEDC because it's being paid. But essentially, BEDC is acting as a master merchant for micro and small businesses. So you don't have to have a merchant account, which is
excellent,
which is costly,
extremely,
as you know.
Yes.
And sometimes it can be a barrier to entry for businesses who are trying to start up. And then it also creates an opportunity for, you know how that thing that you found at Harbor Nights, where you got to wait till next year Harbor Nights to find it again, because they don't have this kind of fixed, place of where you can get it. Well, it creates an opportunity for them to have an online presence so that throughout the year they can have the ability to sell whatever the items is online. And so we had a conversation. I'm like, what, you got a directory? Oh, you working with vendors? Oh, you know these people?
Bang.
I was like, well, hey, I need someone to help get the word out. I need for people to understand that this is available. And BEDC and Lookie Lookie has
collaborated.
We're collaborating.
I think it's a great fit because my directory doesn't offer the e-commerce piece, right? And ByBermuda does. And let's be honest, we're tired of taking a screenshot of the deposit and WhatsApping it so we could be like, hey, we paid for it. No, we got to level it up.
Yeah.
And so this is an excellent way for businesses who have a product to be able to offer more, right? And the fact that it's being subsidized by BEDC from our perspective, why not? Right. So I'm excited I have a few businesses who are waiting for me to onboard them.
Okay.
Because they're just like, yeah, I went to the bank and I'm going to fill out this. And
it's a lot.
And then the fees, it's just like, I'm not selling that volume, right?
To warrant that expense.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason why we did it, right? Because people are like, well, there are other markets. Why did BDC decide to do this? Way before the other markets, this was like on the to-do list because we recognize that when you're just starting out, the cost to do business is high, and sometimes it could kill the business before it even gets a chance.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's designed for those kind of early stage businesses where the money or the income's not coming in to support the cost of just having a merchant account. And so as you go through the life cycle, we hope people graduate to have their own, right? That's what we want to see. You have your own website, your own shopping cart, you now making enough money to pay your fees. So this is like a in between to help you along that way.
And it's good because you get the experience. You know, okay, I'm going to do it like this or I'm not going to do it like that. Yeah. And it's not at your expense.
It's not. Yeah. And the other thing I want to say, it's not just for products. It's for services too.
Okay.
So for someone who, I think on there now we have Bermuda Yoga.
Okay, so you can like yoga. Book your,
yes.
Okay.
People may be providing consulting services as long as you create some kind of like package that they can click and then, and so basically BEDC acts as a master merchant. People purchase on the site and then we put the money into your account and we absorb all the fees.
That's excellent.
Right?
I want to join. You could absorb my fees.
Yes. I mean, that's the point, right? Yeah. So that you get to a place where you can now sell those products. Yep. You can pay your own fees, and then you graduate off the platform.
I think that's really beneficial to the micro business.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I have a merchant account, and it just gets so complicated. So it's like a merchant account if you have a terminal, a different merchant account if you have a website. You still pay the fees if nothing's going into the account.
Yep.
And you're just like, I'm losing her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to be able to have this ByBermuda.com, I think is excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to helping BEDC to get that out there to Bermuda.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like for me, I was like, that is definite synergy, right? Because you're already reaching out and courting vendors to say, come participate in the pop-up or come list on my directory. And I'm like, well, you could have the same conversation. There's no cost for them to list their products or services on ByBermuda. So you can have that conversation so that they have a complete you know what I mean? Package.
Yeah.
Really, they get a listing. They get the pop-up shops when they happen. And then you have online.
Constantly.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Doesn't it? Right?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I think so. And so I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing how people respond and for them using it, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we want business to grow. So we're creating or trying to create solutions to encourage that growth.
And that's definitely a solution.
Yeah.
Access.
Yeah.
That's a big problem, right?
It is. It is. So I want just remind people about the pop-up.
Okay.
And how, if they're interested in participating, because you had, 30 vendors at the December pop-up?
We started off with 30 and we ended with about 37.
Okay. Yeah. So in this new space, are you going to be able to have more, or is it this? Okay. So how many?
We don't actually have a count, so we put it out there to the public. We see what comes back, and then I just make it work.
Right.
Yeah. We have a larger space, so we can accommodate more. And this time we've done things a little different. So, the first time it was figuring it all out.
Yes.
Now it's almost like you buy a piece of real estate, right? So we have vendors who have started the process, put down their first month's rent, and they've come in. We had a site visit, and there's like, okay,
this is where I want to be.
So when you get, we have prime packages, a prime package, and then a standard package. you will benefit from it all, because one thing I guarantee is that Bermuda, the wider Bermuda, is gonna know about your business at the pop-up. I'm a heavy believer in marketing, advertising, so I
because your background's in graphic design, right?
It is, and for the Christmas, I went on a couple radio stations, and I was just like, I don't really know people still listen to radio, but the amount of people who came in,
They do.
and it's funny because it's like, oh, my mama told me that she heard you on the radio, so it might not be you.
But somebody.
Yes.
Trust me, I feel the same way. Like, I do this show every week, and I'm like, all right, people even listening? Do they even know? But I'm always surprised. Like, you're walking, and they be like, mind your business. You know? I'm like, so, you know, even though you may not have the actual number statistics, anecdotally or qualitatively, you know that people are listening based on the feedback and all of that. So people do. You'll be surprised.
So if anyone has a product that is unique to Bermuda, made in Bermuda, designed in Bermuda, by a Bermudian, then their product will work in the store. So we're going to go from March 15th through September 15th. They don't have to commit to the whole 6 months, but I would like a 3-month commitment. And they can they can reach out on Instagram, heylookielookie.com, heylookielookie, or they can email info@heylookielookie.com, or call me at 735-LOOK. So if they want to be a part, we still have spaces available.
Okay.
But it is filling up, because it does make sense.
It does. And December was fabulous. You know,
thank you.
I did my shopping. So December's market was Dreams Do Come True. Is there
a theme?
Yes.
Yes, because I'm that person,
I know
right?
you're that person.
So the theme for the spring summer is in full bloom.
Okay.
So it's the flower I chose was a hibiscus because it's in full bloom.
It's Bermuda,
And this is a time where like you fully can show up for yourself, accept what's truly yours. I know a lot of times we're in hibernation doing all the work, and then we don't really take the accolades or the praises when they come. We're just like, oh yeah, it was so mellow and low key, but it's like, no, like you did this, and that's not easy, right? So show up for yourself in full bloom.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we will definitely be supporting. And if people call us saying, well, how do I get in touch with her? We will forward them on to you.
Yes.
And hopefully all of the vendors who show up for that market, if they don't have an online presence already, then we would love to see them on ByBermuda so they can continue to get sales even after the market concludes. Yep. Any last words of encouragement? Like your whole experience on the other side, right? You went from 9 to 5, 6 months later, you're like, I'm doing this full time. Like, what has that whole process been like for you?
Is
it what you expected?
It's actually more than I expected.
Okay.
On both ends.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm broke. And then, what I must say, I always wanted to, but I was scared. Because that fear, that carrot dangled in front of our faces like, I'm got bills to pay. But I stepped out on a whole entire limb of faith. And once you show up for yourself in that way, you get the support. I had a great meeting this week with an older lady, and she was like, you wouldn't have been given the vision for you not to do it. Right. So the financial support, all the support you need will come, right? So if my advice to anybody who is considering, or not even considering, because I feel like it's something internal that you fight with. If you have that feeling, then go for it. Yeah. And it's nothing better than betting on yourself. Yeah. Like all the energy, all the effort, all the hard work is for this. Yeah. And what I can say, Lookie Lookie is bigger than me. I feel like I'm just the vehicle to get it going. It's about all of these Bermudians who have something to offer. So I encourage anybody to, if you got that feeling, it's for a reason, and it's only for so long that you can like compress it. Yeah, so I'm thankful it's working. It's not, I don't have a plan as in, there's people who's like, okay, so in this savings account is that, and in this emergency account is that, and in, no, we don't have that. I just never been that person. And it's working out. It works as it's supposed to work. Yeah, so I'm excited. Some days, like, what did I get myself into? But for the most part, I know that I'm doing the right thing.
I love that. I mean, I think it's great advice. It is very scary. And I think a lot of people don't step out on a limb or make the jump because of the fear. And we were having the conversation before we came on about what's worse, doing the thing and failing, or not doing the thing and never knowing what could have happened. To me, I think the latter is worse. I think it's worse to have this passion or have this thing that you want to do and never actually do it. You know?
Yep. I agree.
So I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
For taking the leap. I know you have been going back. You're like, no. I'm like, girl. Right, because I think you can feel the passion. You can feel your energy, like you said. So you know that it's coming from a good place. People receive that. And I think that's why your pop-up was so successful. I think that's why micro and small businesses want to work with you and want to be participate because you can feel that energy. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a win-win. This is your business now. This is what you're doing. You're providing support to these other businesses. If they're being supported and they're making sales, then they can grow and hire people, and create other opportunities. So it literally is kind of a cycle. And now you're just part of that cycle, ensuring that the ecosystem continues to thrive. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's always good being here at BDC, because when I got these moments of like, I don't know what I'm doing, I just come see Jamillah and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
I'm like a cheerleader, right? Yes. I'm like, girl, please, we're gonna do this. No, and I think that's what you need. And I thank you for saying that, because I feel like that's what we want to be. We want to be your partner, but we're not getting no equity, right? We're not getting paid. But for you, your success is our success, because that means that we're doing what we are being paid to do, which is to support you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And the fact that your business actually supports other businesses, we're like winning on so many different levels, right? So no, I appreciate you for coming, being here, partnering with us to try to get this ByBermuda.com going, letting people know about it, helping to get them signed up so that we can ensure that people are being successful, not just in real life or physically, but also online, because doing that creates opportunities for you to scale the business outside of Bermuda.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? Yep. That's really what we want.
And we have a lot of, I always look at it as an opportunity for this outside of Bermuda who want to still support in Bermuda. So you might be in the UK and you want to buy a gift, right?
Be like, that candle was bum. I cannot get that scent anywhere. How do I get it? You know? So that's what we were thinking. That was our thought process when we decided to go ahead and build the virtual market. But look, Kimwana, thank you so much for coming and talking with me again. I'm gonna have you on. Like, it might be a recurring thing, right?
This is another thing. When you say you want to make candles and you start off making candles, but it always leads to more. And you don't know that until you take the first step.
That's
right.
Correct.
So I love to talk. I enjoy being here. So yes, I will be here again.
Good. It's on camera. And it's been recorded, so you can't back out. Listen, we minded some business today. People who are interested in participating in the upcoming pop-up, reach out to Kimwana directly. And make sure, if you're interested in signing up to ByBermuda, you can contact us or Kimwana, since she's going to be helping us get people onboarded. But I really appreciate you for coming, sharing your journey, sharing the progress. It's so wonderful to see. And I look forward to having you back on to give us an update on how that What's the name of the pop-up market?
In full bloom.
In full bloom.
Yes.
How well it's gonna do, and I know that it's gonna do awesome.
Thank you.
You welcome.
A blossoming showcase for Bermuda's vendors.
Yes. I love it. I know it's gonna look gorgeous too. So yeah, I want to say thank you again for minding your business with us today. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will? Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.